Okay, starting off where I last left off, with my last video, which was a while ago, I built a lower. Since that time, I have purchased a second lower, a parts kit, and some specialty parts to turn this into a AR pistol. As you can notice, I have the buffer tube uh, without the ability to accept a stock. And I today recently purchased a 7.5 inch barrel from Anderson Manufacturing, same as the lower. Some other parts that I had scrounged up out of a parts bin at the gun store was a front sight block, gas block also for $8, not bad. I picked up a Palmetto State Armory Delta Ring assembly that I need. Also, I picked up a 7.5 inch gas tube and the front retainer for the handguard. Now the handguard is a carbine handguard chopped down and modified to fit the barrel assembly, because you can buy fancy setups and everything like that. It costs you between $40 to $150 depending if you want key mod or M-LOK or whatever you have. So what I'm doing is reusing parts. So I chopped this down and modified it so it will fit in the D-ring with the heat shield, and it'll give a short stubby carbine look. So it fits in there pretty good. I've already tested it and did some dry fitting. I am reusing parts once again, like this old carbine handguard that was chopped and modified with the heat shield, the Bushmaster carry handle assembly, and right now for a test, until I do get the bolt carrier group that I want, I'm just using the Bushmaster one for test fitting. The Stag Arms upper came complete with the dust cover, forward assist, and I purchased a separate mil-spec charging handle. The upper receiver came for $89 complete, so that was a pretty good deal right there. I couldn't pass that up. So let's go ahead and do some dry fitting and kind of get an idea of what we're working with. Okay, with the all too familiar vise block, the 7.5 inch barrel, very easy to install. It fits right in here with a pin. Simple as that. There's no guesswork. There's no measurements to take. Slides right in. Now the gas ring assembly, the Delta ring. I don't know why I keep saying gas ring. The Delta ring assembly is what the barrel nut, Delta ring, the retaining clamp, and the weld spring are what hold this together. Basically what happens is the barrel nut, which you'll see here in a moment, is what holds it in, screws it in. Now, in order to tighten that down, we need a armorer's tool, and the specifications call for between 30 to 80 pounds, depending. You start with 30, you work your way up until you can get your gas tube aligned. So what we're going to do is just a dry fit. Just go ahead and fit that in there. Now, the gas tube ideally should fit in between, and if everything is lined up here, the gas tube will fit in there perfectly, and then we'll line up once you do a little bit of adjustment, and then you can pin it in. So I'm going to go ahead and line that up, and we'll see how that works. Okay, so just doing a dry fit, lining everything up. We have the barrel nut, the Delta ring assembly with spring and retainer clip, with the gas tube inserted. Now, when you're torquing this down, the specifications say start at 30 and work your way up to 80. That's a lot of torquing down. But what you really do, once you get past 30, 35, you want to start trying to get these to line up. This gas tube should line up. Everything should fit right in there. And you should start lining up. As you can see, the gas tube has a small hole, which lines up with the hole in the barrel. Now, the next part I want to do is go ahead and get the front sight block with the gas block onto the barrel. It's a little tight fit, but before I do that, I want to go ahead and make sure that this will fit on. And this is what's going to also line up. This is going to be the handguard retainer. Little wiggling. I'm going to push that back a little bit, and then we're going to tap that on there, and then we'll see how that goes. Okay, we have the front sight block on. Everything lined up pretty decent, so we get an idea of what we're looking at here. We have a very short handguard area. We don't have a muzzle brake yet, but I do have the crush washer for when I do get that. The handguards, we'll go ahead and place the handguards in. As you can tell, the handguards are very short. The aluminum heat shield had to be expanded to fit into the barrel nut and the delta ring assembly, so it kind of holds it in there. I've also taken the liberty of melting these little tabs, which will hold those in a little bit better, give a little bit more stability, because in order for me to do that, I would have to try to grind these down to fit in here, and that's going to be a little difficult because you take out too much material. But the pressure of the delta ring and the retainer up here hold these hand grips in pretty good. So what we're going to do is go ahead and put that in and see what we got with the finished product. Okay, so with the dry fit, once we got everything together, I need to do a little bit of work on the handguard right here. The heat shield's really not lining up in there. I just got to do a little trimming. I don't want to force it in there. What we got is the front sight block with the gas tube installed. I have a bolt installed in it for temporary, and an upper carry handle right now. So basically what we have is a AR pistol. It's 7.5-inch barrel with an overall length minus a muzzle brake. You're looking at 22 inches on the dot from tip to tip. So we're coming along here. I got to work on those handguards a little bit if I want to try to save me some money. I don't really want to go with a key mod or anything like that. I'd like to keep it this just the way it is right there. One of the steps that's going to be a trick is going to be to drill and taper these holes right here for pins for a permanent mount. So that's going to be a little tricky step. I'm going to have to do a little bit more research on that. But right now what we have is the makings of a nice pistol. Now what I'm going to need to do in the next few weeks to months, there's a show coming up in Denver here in about 2 weeks I'm going to be going to. So I'm going to be looking for a muzzle attachment. Haven't decided anything yet, and looking at getting a new bolt carrier group. So, but right now it'll function, it'll charge. Theoretically it'll fire, but probably this whole front end will blow off. The gas pin, the glass block is not centered right, so that's a little bit of work right there. Just having a little bit of trouble with these hand guards. I'm probably gonna have to shave down the heat shields a little bit to get them fit a little better. So I'll work on that maybe tonight a little bit, and hopefully they'll have something that's functional. Because if not, then I would have to put the hand guards on and then put this whole front assembly on, and then these would probably never be able to come off if I wanted to try to extend the heat shield into the delta ring. It was holding pretty good and tight without the heat shields in there previously, and it looked pretty good. And I mean, you'd really have to beat the hell out of those things to to get them off, but that's probably not going to happen. This is just going to be a truck gun, something that goes behind the back seat for emergency reasons. So let's go ahead and continue to work on that, and we'll see what we get, and I'll update you when I get a chance. All right, thanks for watching.